What's up, everyone? Welcome to c.r.a.c.k.a Season 4. And I got Gizmo with me. He's resting. I look like hell today. I haven't really had a chance to sleep all that much. Uh, my fiance and I have been discussing, last episode I was mentioning good news because we figured we finally had an answer to certain things. And we're like, hey, you know what? We're going to get our own. Well, I'm going to bring you guys up to speed, but I also got packages, so, there's stuff involved in this. Um, my fiance and I were trying to get a house, but everything seems to go against us whenever we try to get a house, so that's not happening anytime soon, anyway. We tried to get a mortgage for the house, and they said that we didn't. Well, I think my fiance, she got 65,000, and like I said, the cheapest house we found that we wanted was 121, and we just didn't have enough money to put down on it, even with the mortgage, which is ridiculous. So then we found, like I said, I mentioned this before. We found a condo that we liked, and it had all the stuff we were looking for. So we're like, hey, you know what? And it was only $60,000. So my fiance's like, all right, we got 65,000. We can get this. Let's get it, going. Uh, we told the lady we wanted to take a look at it. The real estate lady that we talked to that helped my fiance's mother get her house. And she's like, oh, well, you don't get 65,000 if you're going after a condo. You get 40,000. And she's like, well, why am I getting 40,000 if I was already approved for 65? Oh, well, a condo isn't a house, and and you lose money when whatever it is. So my fiance's like, fine, we get $40,000. She's like, so now we can't afford the condo. Then she turned around and found out that with the HMAs or homo, I don't know what the hell any of that stuff is. Can't remember what she was saying. Sorry, guys, I was just listening to you. I'm telling them the story. I will show them the comics in a moment. Um, but anyway, uh, we couldn't. The reason we couldn't get the condo we wanted is because the HMAs or whatever the hell they're called were too high. So they claim they want to know that we can pay it, after we get it, which makes sense, I guess, in a way. And my friend's like, well, I can. She's like, we can afford it. She goes, but they won't approve us for whatever. So my fiance, we went over our books and stuff like that, and we're like, you know what? We didn't want to put down like a full amount because we wanted to have extra money as like a cushion. And yes, guys, I'm telling them. I'm telling them. You want to go play? Okay, you go play. We'll talk later. Sorry, it's being weird. But anyway, she was like, we can put down more money than we thought because we actually have a little more money. Because the way she budgets it, she over budgets. Like, if something's $5, she'll say it's 10. So we always have, something. Um, so she's like, we can put the money down if we get the $40,000. We can put the money down and afford the one we wanted. So a couple days ago, my fiance called up the real estate lady and said, hey, you know what? We want to take a look at the place because we figured that we can put the extra money down and actually afford it. So, what was it? She's like, oh, that's great, but anyway, you're not going to get $40,000. You're going to get $10,000. So my fiance said, what are you talking about? She's like, now you're telling me that. She's like, you told me I was getting 40, for it. She goes, and you said that if I put more money down, I'd be able to do it. And she goes, now we're willing to put down the more money, but now you're claiming I'm getting $10,000 rather than $40,000. And she's like, oh, well, your closing costs and, all this crap that they suddenly appears when we're ready to get this, a place. And I guess things really do work in mysterious ways, or God does, or however you want to go about it, because we went to go take a look at the place, the area, without the real estate lady, just to check. And the area was, let's just say, less than comfortable. Like I said, the inside looked, absolutely amazing. We were in love with the damn thing, and then when we saw the actual area, we're like, all right, no offense, but it was pretty bad. It was a pretty messed up area. Like the area going to it was beautiful, nice. It looked just like where Long Island, certain spots where we were from, and we're like, all right, it's not that bad. I was like, it reminds us of Homer a little bit. And then when we went over like this bridge, welcome to hell. And so my fiance's like, I just don't feel safe here. You could just tell it was like just people, and I don't know if they were a gang, but it was a little weird that there was a group near a street light sitting there, like 12 people in a certain color, and then 2 blocks over there's another certain color. So we're like, yeah, maybe not. So we're like, okay, fine. We're not gonna go after it. We'll wait and see. My fiance found another one. This is why it's funny. She finds another one that's close to where we are now, about like maybe a 10-minute drive, not even. And we found one that was even better than the one we wanted. Same kind of stuff. You know, it had a porch. It had a backyard, actually, like a bigger backyard. Same rooms, same amount of bathrooms, and it didn't have any HMOs or HMAs or whatever the hell they're called. So my friend's like, hey, you know what? She's like, this thing is, and it was 55,000. She's like, oh, it's 55. She goes, we could probably get it for 50. And she goes, and we could put the money down we wanted. And she goes, and we'll have money left over to, actually survive. And she goes, and we looked at it, it's in a better area. We're like, hey, you know what? So then we called the real estate lady and we're like, hey, you know what? We want to try this one. And she's like, oh, well, you don't get a mortgage for that one because it's so low already. So it's like, it's amazing. It literally, it's like no matter what we do, we can't get ahead. If we have, like, if they said put down $50,000 and we said, hey, you know what? We got $50,000. They'll turn around and say, oh, it's 180,000 now. Yeah, they doubled it when you put the money down. Something stupid. It seems it's pissing us off to no end that we can't get any further than we're at because no matter how much we do and how much we try, somebody throws something in the way. Like there's always some thing that pops up out of nowhere, which is very interesting. So, yeah. So we've decided we're going to stay where we are now and just call it a day because it's just a little ridiculous. We can't afford a house. We can't afford a condo. We can't afford anything but an apartment that we're in right now. So my fiance is beyond pissed off, and I was extremely pissed off because I said to the real estate lady, I was like, this is a little ridiculous. It's like every time we try to get ahead with this, and you tell us what we have to do, and we go ahead and do it, you find something else that we can't do it because of something else. And she's like, oh well, I understand. I was like, it's just whatever. Well, that's my little rambling. Thanks for listening to it. Let me show you some stuff because like now that we decided we're sticking around. At least for a while. We're going to do another 6 months here, which was kind of stupid because we did 6 months originally and they charge you more money because we figured we were going to be moving out of here and getting our own place, but that didn't work because apparently there's some conspiracy that doesn't want us to have a house or an apartment. And me, I can't seem to get a job. I've tried pretty much everything and everyone basically, I go on interviews, come back for a second interview, then they call up and say that the second interview is canceled, they can't hire me at this time. So it's just like one friggin' annoyance after the other, and my fiance's trying to get a better job, and that's not even happening. Especially in the field that she knows and the other field she's been in, insurance and X-ray. Neither one is hiring down here. So now she's at the point where she's actually pissed. She's like, I can't believe we moved down to North Carolina, and she's like, we're expecting all these things to happen, and nothing happened. She goes, she's like, it's actually worse. It's the same kind of area, and we were both saying the same thing. Like, it's the same kind of situation. Like, when we were in New York, we could afford where we were, but we couldn't get it anywhere further from that. So now we took a chance. We came to North Carolina, and it's the same BS. Nobody wants to hire you. Nobody wants to, this, and you can't do that. You can't do this. And it's just ridiculous. But anyway, since we decided to stay, I'm actually going to go ahead and buy those storage drawers for the comics, those part ones. So my fiance was like, I wanted to get them regardless, and we were gonna get them when we moved. But now that we're not moving, and that's like I said, a big to do. And she even said she doesn't want to move. She's like, I'd rather just stay here another 6 months. And she goes, maybe in that time we'll both get jobs or better jobs, and we can actually go ahead and do something else. Because apparently, it doesn't matter how much money you put down. You could put down less than 3% on anything. So she's like, at that point, she goes, if I'm making more money and you're making money, she goes, and the hell with it, might as well just go after a house and a condo. But anyway, so I'm going to try to order those drawers, but the one thing I don't quite get how they're going to do is because I know they're big, so, they're not going to fit in my mailbox, and most of the time, when I get a comic book, I have to go to the office to pick it up, so I don't know if they're going to ship that thing to the office, or they're going to ship it, because I've seen the UPS people actually come to the apartments and leave stuff. So I don't know. I'll have to see. But I've realized how expensive they are. It's like 5 of them is $50, and then if you want dividers in there, that's another like friggin' $3 a piece. And then something else, like if you want to connect them together, which I'm gonna have, that's like $1.25 per thing. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll happen down the line. It's not gonna happen right away. But one thing I found when I was going through some of my stuff, I found my Jurassic Park golf ball. Yay. And I'll show you something else that's very interesting, which I've shown before, and my friend had asked me something because I was showing him this. Uh, I like to display these sometimes, like certain ones, because they're cool looking. So what I do is rather than go buy something, if you like pizza, go buy a pizza, and those little tables they give you, you flip it over, you stick the bowl in there, it's secure, doesn't move, and this thing, it's like a little stand. Cool. Anyway, let me show you what I got. I did make a screw up, which I'm going to show you. But I went to the comic book store yesterday and got a shitload of bags. I got a whole thing of current size. I got a whole thing of Silver Age. I got 3 or 4 of each one of these. And I got 3 or 4 of these current size boards, and I got 3 or 4 of the Silver Age boards. And I also found a whole load of other things I'm going to use to cut to make dividers, because I got to go through my comics because a lot of them I haven't changed the bag since the 80s. So the bag and boards I've noticed as I've been going through them when I'm dividing them, I've been taking them out bit by bit. Like certain ones, I'm like, oh my god, this thing is like so old, and I haven't changed the bag, and which is when you're poor, you can't really change the bags. It's better to have them in their old bag than not a bag, I guess. But I kind of stocked up, so now I'm going to be going through and bagging and boarding all my old stuff that I haven't had a chance to, on top of dividing. And whatever's left over, I'm going to use these as dividers as well, after I run out of the other stuff I found. Which basically what it is the folders, like those, what the hell is it, like, those cheap, folders that open up and they're like, cream color, whatever it is, you put whatever in, it's got a label. What I was doing, I was cutting them to the comic book size, the boards, and putting a label in there. But the problem was, if I tried to use the labels I had, the actual cardboard, on the folders, they would bend over and fold, and they sucked. So I would have to cut off the label on the folder thing and make it that way. And even that isn't all that sturdy, because when you put the top on, it's not the cardboard; it just bends it. But it's an even cheaper route to go if you don't want to go for the boards and feel like you're wasting them. The boards are cool because, like I said, they're already pre-cut. You just kind of throw them in there, and that's that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I did get a shipment, and like I said, I did get a comic from the store as well. I did do a screw up, but I did fix it. Well, I didn't really fix it, but I had ordered this off of eBay. I got this for $1 because I thought this was the first appearance of the character, and I was extremely wrong because I got the wrong one. But you know what? It's still a really good book. It's in great shape, and I was reading it, and it's actually pretty damn good. This is The Fury of Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, #1. Got it for $1 with free shipping. I thought this was his first appearance. Apparently his first appearance is Firestorm, #1, which I did order. I got it pretty cheap, too, so I'm kind of happy with that. Because I was reading the top of this when I got it, and I didn't notice it when I ordered on eBay, and it says, because you demanded it back in his own magazine. I'm like, well, how is he back if this is his first appearance? And I was reading it, I'm like, oh shit, I was like, this is the wrong one, because the real one is Firestorm #1 from '78. This is Fury of Firestorm #1 from '82. But it's still a good book. It was still only $1. They packed it really crappy. They sent it like this, and I'm amazed it came in such a good shape. But for $1 and free shipping, I'm not really gonna bitch too much. I lucked out. So I did order his first appearance, which is coming, and I ordered some other interesting things. But that's gonna be it for a while. This I got from the comic book store. And they had them, and these were sold out at Midtown, and I saw it. I'm like, you know what? That is actually pretty cool. Deathstroke #1, which is Teen Titans 23.2. Very, very cool cover. I didn't get this one from Midtown. Like I said, I was getting the ones I really read. And when I saw it, I was like, this is actually a pretty cool looking cover. So I figured the hell with it, because these are now hard to get. And it's funny because the Joker one that I mentioned on the videos, I was pissed off about the 3D one. I asked the guy, I was like, do you have any? Are you gonna have any extras? And the guy's like, no. He's like, we already had the pre-orders. Like, we're not getting any extras. And he's like, they're all gone. He's like, basically all the stuff we ordered is going to people. I was like, it figures. But on eBay, this is what's interesting. The 3D one is going for like, $70, $80, $100, $200, $300. So one for almost $850. And now the 2D one is actually going for an extremely large amount of money. I saw the 2D one was like $60, $40. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I have the 2D one coming to me, so I'm kind of happy with that, but it's nuts. It's just hard to find, very rare, limited run, all this crap that they get you on. But anyway, another one I got from eBay, which I was very happy to get. It actually was a pretty good book. I'm shocked because I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. This is supposed to be a very hard book to find. It's a limited run, limited print run. They keep claiming, which is probably true because everyone that I found was $20 or more, and I finally found one that was actually really a good price. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 410, Spider Carnage. And it was actually pretty good. It was actually a pretty good book. Um, the thing was is I thought this was a near mint, but it wasn't. The guy didn't say it was near mint. It just looked like it was. But this is probably a fine, maybe very fine. It's got a little bit of a crease, like very very slight crease in the middle, which it wasn't folded over. It looked like it was about to be folded and they stopped. I don't know, but yeah, it's just like a little line that goes across, which you really can't even notice unless you really really look at it. And this was only $2, $2 and $3 shipping. So $5 rather than 20, 25, 30. I saw one going for $55. It's nuts, and that adds to my Spider-Man, which is pretty cool because I do have another one coming in. I actually got two Amazing Spider-Man books coming to me. One of them is desperately needed that I got extremely cheap because it's gonna do a nice little fill-in. When I get this one, I'll have a nice huge run basically from the 200s to the 700s, and well, you'll see. Um, Friends ask me like, how's the Spider-Man collection going, and am I discouraged because I'm not going to be able to get the older issues? Uh, it's going. It's going pretty well actually. It's just I'm doing what the smart way to do it. Like a lot of times I keep forgetting to do it the smart way. I'm like, I gotta get this, and I'm not thinking. I'm like, get that one, and I'm kind of all over the place. And then every now and then my mind kind of clicks and goes, what are you doing? Relax, calm down. You're not going to get everything in one shot. It's not going to happen. And try to do it strategically. Try to get it done. So I'm kind of going from, instead of 1 to 700, I'm going to try to go from 100 to 700. But, occasionally I'm going to get, I do have ones lower than 100, but I'm not going to worry about the ones below 100 until, later on. Unless I find one for a good deal, which I almost got Amazing Spider-Man number 4 for $50. Very close. It skyrocketed though, like the last 2 seconds. I put in the bid and it just. But besides that, I'm going to concentrate on some of the higher up issues because I don't have a lot of 500s. Well, the issues in the 500 series and issues in the 600s, so I'm going to kind of go after those now. I want to finish the 400s before I go into that, though, so I'm going to kind of do it that way. I've been going after some of the 400s that I've been missing, which some of them are a real bitch. I'm not going to lie. Some of the ones when the series turned over into Series 2, even though it's still technically Series 1, the lower number ones are getting really hard to find for a decent price. Some of the ones I think like number 23 I need, and that thing's going for like $60 right now. It's crazy, but I do what I always do. I sit, I bide my time, I wait, and then things come around. Like I said, this is $20-something, and I found it for $5. So you gotta kind of just go with the flow, and hopefully, somewhere down the line, maybe years from now, I'll actually have a house or something to put my stuff in, an actual cave and everything. Because my fiance and I, we were actually looking at other apartments that had more rooms, but I kind of sat there. I was like, it's kind of stupid to piss our money away, because that's what we're doing anyway. We're basically pissing our money away on rent when we'd rather have to put it towards something. And I was like, it's kind of stupid to move somewhere else and spend more money on just an extra room. I was like, we're fine the way we are right now. It sucks ass that I have everything out in the open, but you know what? What are you gonna do? There's not much I can do about it. And the other reason it sounded like an evil bash, the other reason I wanted to cave so much is because Gizmo is very curious, like all cats are, and he's getting worse. I mean, I love the cat to death. I do. I don't mind him. He jumps on the comic book boxes. I don't care because it's the box, whatever. But now he actually digs into the box and is trying to rip it open. I asked him, I was like, if you want to read the comic, let me know, and I'll flip the box open. You can read the comic. I was like, but don't dig. But Yeah, I guess he is my cat. And I can't put any statues up because he flicks them off. We have where I have my statues up here, the boxes. I have them in the box. You know, they're safe. Now he jumps up there and he actually knocks them off. So now I have to take all them down and try to find a spot for them because I don't want to put them in my outside storage because it'll just destroy them. So I'm like, you know, see what happens. A little bummed, but you know what are you gonna do? I mean, that's life. Life kicks you in the face, and you gotta be strong enough to say, "Bring it." Yes, give me more. Um, but we'll see what happens. You know, everything seems to be constantly going around in a weird circle, so we're not giving up. We're gonna just kind of ride it out and see how it goes. If worse comes to worse, like my fiance had said, we're obviously probably gonna stay here. Like I said, 6 more months, unless miraculously we get something in October and we can get it done. But if we are here 6 more months, it's not a bad place to hang out. You know, it's fine, and we're actually probably gonna get our dog, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Um, as much as we love the cat, we also want the dog. We actually want the dog first, so Gizmo was kind of a happy bonus. Um, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes, and I'll introduce you to a new member of the c.r.a.c.k.a team. Who knows? Maybe he won't be much of a diva like Gizmo is there, and then we'll see how it goes. No Gizmo picks today because, like I said, this video rant went on long enough as it is, and it takes forever to put up videos, especially if they're over 10 minutes now with the internet I have. But see what happens. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch this show, even though it me rambled on, which a lot of times it's, no offense, but it's a lot more for me to kind of yeah. Because if I don't talk about it or laugh about it, I'm gonna flip out and just kind of snap, and I just can't have it. So sometimes that's why I do a lot of the videos too. Just like, hey, welcome to my hell. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me show you some comics. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. And it's not the size you make if it matters. It's what you have in it. Later.